Greetings, boys and girls. I am so glad that you're here today with us, joining us for Calvary Kids for Sunday, April 26th. We're going to be picking up with the next event in the life of Jesus. We had left off with him helping a person. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. Hello? Yes, could I call you back later? Okay, thank you so much. You have a good day. Bye. Now, back to where we were. Okay, we're going to figure out what happened next in the life of Jesus. He got back in that boat, left that man that he helped from the Gadarenes, and he got back in his boat with his disciples and went to the other side of the Sea of Galilee to the area of Capernaum. And Bunny's here to help me today too. Notice that Bunny is wearing something a little bit different. We're going to learn a little bit about this also. It's called a talit. So, Jesus got off the boat with his disciples, and there were a whole bunch of people there, happy to see him. And there was somebody in particular who came. He was a ruler in the local synagogue. His name was Jairus. He bowed down at Jesus' feet. He said, "Oh, Jesus, please come to my house," because his 12-year-old daughter was very, very sick, and they thought she was going to die. Jesus said yes, he would go. And so he went with Jairus. His disciples were with him, and there were a lot of other people going too, a large group. And they're walking along. And then something happened. He kind of got interrupted. I kind of got interrupted by that phone call earlier. Well, Jesus did a very good job handling his interruption. And, well, this is what happened. There was a woman who had been very sick. She had, Scripture says, an issue of blood for 12 years. She had gone to doctors, and they couldn't figure out what to do to help her. They didn't have any medication that could help her. And she had heard about Jesus. And she thought, if I can just touch the edge, the hem of his garment, I'll be healed. And that's what happened. There were a whole bunch of people around, and she was there, and she reached through, and she touched the fringe on his talit, the tzitzit. Jewish men would wear a garment with fringe on it, as commanded in the book of Numbers. That's what she touched. And she knew that she was healed as soon as she touched the edge of his garment. And then what happened? Even though she didn't really get into Jesus' face and say, "Hey, here am I," she just touched him from the side. He knew something had happened, and he stopped right there. And he said, "Who touched me?" And his disciples looked at him, not understanding. Peter said, "There's lots of people around. People are bumping each other. And you want to know who touched you?" They did not understand what he was talking about. But Jesus kept it up. He said, "Who touched me?" He knew that somebody had been healed. And the woman came forward, and she said what had happened in her life, that she was ill. She could not receive the treatment that she needed. Nobody knew what to do to help her. And she touched the edge of his garment, and he was healed. And she was healed. Well, that was awesome. That was wonderful. And then, next thing that happens, because of that interruption that happened, that little girl he was on his way to go see, she died. Somebody from Jairus' house came and met them and said, "Don't bother Jesus. She's already dead." But Jesus wanted to go anyway. So he went. And when they got to the house, Jesus went inside the house. He only allowed 3 of his disciples, Peter, James, and John, to go in with him. And when he got inside the house, he saw and heard all the people weeping, crying, wailing, because she was dead. And Jesus told them not to cry. He said, she's not dead. She's just asleep. They kind of made fun of him. They laughed at him. He told them all to leave the home, which they did. And he went to the room where this girl was, 12-year-old girl. And he took her by the hand and he told her to get up. And she did. And after that, he told the parents to give her something to eat. And he also told them not to tell people what had happened. That was the next major event in Jesus' life. He can heal people. He brought that little girl back from the dead. He healed the woman who nobody could give medicine for. He cares for us. He also shows us how to handle interruptions. You know, he didn't get mad when he had to stop and talk to somebody on the way. It was all in his perfect plan. When interruptions happen to us, we should not get upset. We should realize that, hey, maybe this is what I need to be doing right now. And if it's not what you need to be doing right now, you just politely get back to him later. Like, I'm going to call that person back here in just a minute. You guys have a great day. Thanks so much.